Oh shit, what the fuck? Okay, I just want to make sure this works. Should be able to see people chatting. Just makes it easier. I think putting it on here would just make it easier personally. Because then it's also recorded for everyone if they want to go back, especially if there's learning things throughout the day. So this would probably be the best scenario, is I live stream it on YouTube so that it's recorded. People can go back, look at the trades. People can go back and see educational stuff, and basically everything there. Forgive me for my like 500 lines that I have right now. I have to actually delete all these, but we are possibly Ming here, holding the 200 SMA in the 10-minute. See the 5-minute. 5-minute, we're under everything. Let's look at Heat Seeker. So the reason why I got those call spreads today is because of this right here. By the way, this was at negative 70,000. Now it's at negative 315. So that is just continuously adding up. Obviously, we also had a great short there. And in this case, it went over to 612, went over to 613. I got a short here at 610, had a nice move for $2.50. So there's definitely a lot of things to be had. If you guys can, if anyone is free, if you could just type in the chat, I want to see if that works so that if you guys have any questions, I could always answer them right then and there. Yeah, so the biggest thing that I saw today was around that 610 mark. Wait, live chat. Okay, it's open. I just want to make sure I have all this working. Yeah, so if anyone could actually put a chat in there, let me know. So I know if this is working. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Thank you, Greg. Perfect. I just want to make sure that works because I think we could also, I think people are also able to see that. So if there's any questions, one, I could pin them right here so people could see them. And then two, people could see them on the recording, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure on that one, but again, I think this might be the best way to do these lives is do the recording. I mean, do it on YouTube so it's recorded for people to look back if they want to. I mean, listen, the only way you're going to learn and become a better trader is one, associating yourself with tools, something like Heat Seeker, which has been absolutely phenomenal for me. And I'm someone who does not know what JEX or VEX is. I mean, it's just something I never used in my 10 going on 11 years of trading. I just always traded just by the charts and stuff like that. And again, strategies. Some people don't know what option selling is. That's something I'm going to talk about a lot. Something you're going to see me trade a lot. So stuff like that is, key. And that's why we want to record this. Okay, so one trade that I had on the watch list. I know GDX is not fully set up here on Heat Seeker. It's a little bit caution, but something to keep in mind is this 75 level. I put this on the watch list last night, and let me go see if I can grab it. Okay, so 75 on the watch list. Where are we? That's 10 o'clock. Okay, so it's right here. Okay, GDX was over 75 last night. This morning, it was under 75 off of the major gap down on the whole market. And with that said, we quickly ripped right through the 75. And you could see, I'm going to bring it up right here. You could see on GDX, look at this. Okay, we ripped through the 75, got to 76. Look at where we bounced. Literally 75. So if you grab that off of the watch list, if you grabbed 75 off of the JEX and VEX off of 75 for this week and next week. This was higher for this week. It did get lower, but you could see on both expirations, 75 was a big area. You had You had basically $2 upside there, and that's a great trade for a Friday. So again, being able to find for someone who doesn't know Gamma and Vanna and Jex and Vex and all that stuff, I'm learning from everyone in here. I'm trying to share my details on using the tool, as well as just sharing my trading, knowledge that I know over 10 plus years of trading. One, we had a beautiful support at 75. Two, you use the tool to obviously add into that confluence, and it worked out perfectly. So again, things like that is the whole goal of this. We'll be trading live every day and, sharing all those details as possible. Biggest thing today, let's just get rid of all this garbage. Sorry about that. Biggest thing today is I had a couple of trades. I actually shorted a good amount today. Of course, I wish I went long. I sadly missed out on that opportunity. I shorted this 200 right here. And then I shorted all the way up here. So the reason why I shorted up here is we started to break down under the 9. Okay. Oh, sorry. And I shorted here at the 610. And we're not on Q, so that's why I couldn't see that. I shorted here at the 610 because that was our first time reaching that 610. And if you look at QQQ here, and this is also on the watch list, you can see the 610 was a major area. Okay. You can see it on both ends there. And then if you look at the replay, I talked about it being in the 60s and the 70,000s, and there you go. So it went from negative 68,000 to negative 300,000. So there is a lot of selling being done there. Okay. So that's why I went short that. And then I shorted the top, not related to Heatseeker, because we started to, after 3 times holding the 9 EMA, which is the pink line here on the 5-minute, we started to curl down a little bit. And then you start to go to smaller time frames. I like to look at the 2, 3, 5, 10. You start to see that we are slowing down. You could obviously visually see that on any time frame, but we are slowing down. And then we had our first lower high. So this is where I went short, and it worked out perfectly and paid out very nicely. So again, utilizing the tools for you, whatever you find works best for you. Stick with that strategy. Just because you lose one trade does not mean, the strategy doesn't work. I've lost trades on all my strategies. Yes, I've changed strategies, but now I know my strategy over the past 6-7 years. You got to stick with it. You got to tone it, figure out what works, what doesn't. Market's always changing, and you just got to, follow along with that. Sorry, let's just answer any text. Option selling is scary. So why do you think that? I want to see if this works. Does that work? No, it doesn't work. How does this pop up there? Oh, never mind. I know how this pops up. Okay. Okay, so I just want to see if this works. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. I did miss a big trade on Clear Edge today. And I wish I didn't. I wish I didn't. I thought I had it set up and I didn't. I will definitely be texting you, Nara. I'm guessing it's Nara that's writing that. Learning Man, option selling is scary. Why is that? I just want to hear your thoughts on the process there. So for me, I personally love option selling. It's literally become a second income for me. First of all, I want to close this trade out, or I want to actually just log this trade that I took today. Yes, I took an ass beating yesterday. That was stupid. Here's what it is. But look on the year. I gotta get rid of this, but look on the year. February, my only losing month was March. February 2000, April 2000, and we just keep going up from there. I look to make November my best month with over half the month left. So turn this from 5,000 to 75,000, hitting 84% of my trades. It's just consistent trading. You just got to follow the strategy that 200% stop loss if you guys have seen what I've talked about, and just go from there. Um, you can see that Qs is looking weak here. We are getting some downside movement here. Hold on 1 second. Okay. QQQ. Oh, naked option selling. Yeah, that's something I personally don't do. So I'm kind of with you on that one. Um, yeah. So what my strategy is for option selling, I mean, we have a perfect example today. Okay. Let me pull this up. Talked about it here, and you can see the timestamp. That's why I'm bringing it up. Okay. So 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay. It is 3:40. I'm Eastern. Let's go to 12:30 Eastern. Look at where we got this call spread. We literally got it at the high of day. And that doesn't mean you do that every single day because trust me, I do not. Okay. We got a call spread, which means we want the price of, in this case, NDX was the ticker I was trading, to stay under our sold strike. Okay. Our sold strike was way out of the money. It was 300 points out of the money. Selling a 25,400 call and buying a 25,425 call. So here, because there's a $25 strike difference, you need $2,500 in collateral. Okay. So for every contract, it's going to be $2,500. Okay. The entry is 0.95. So every contract, let's just make it $1, make it simple. I'd be making $100. Okay. So $100 to make 25. $100 profit to with a 2,500 collateral. People look at that and they go, okay, that doesn't really look that good. The thing is, I would never let the position ever get close to that. My risk is always $200 in that case, 200% of my profit. So if my profit's 100, 100% would be 100 and 200% would be 200. So I'd risk $200 on the trade if I do one contract, and that's where I'm going for. And that's where I talked about if you you need to figure out what your profit goal is and what you're willing to risk. If you're willing to risk 250 a day, your profit goal is 125. And that's something, again, you got to figure out with yourself, something you can mentally handle and go through every day. So what I specifically do for my spreads is I want to trade in the direction of that move. If we, for example, ripped up all day, okay, we are at 0.8% on the day. Obviously, I don't really want to do a put spread because the possibility for downside can happen. I mean, we ripped a lot today, over 600 points from the bottom, or almost 700 points from the bottom. Do I really want to risk them possibly pulling that halfway or even all the way back? No. So I personally look at previous, day or two, look at the past levels, and then I trade basically how I would if I was going to just enter puts. Let's say, for example, I enter puts there, which I did. Market's weakening. We had a major uptrend, and we're starting to see some weakness. I buy $200+ out of the money. That would put us at over 2% on the day. And by the way, if you look at the data of closing 2% on the day, up or down, that's under, I think, 6% of the time. 3% is under like 2% of the time. So again, probability is in my favor. The probability of those contracts closing that I sold in the money, or technically for a loss at that point, was 93% chance that I would make profit on it. So the probability of profit was 93%. Again, I'm putting myself in a right situation. So that's exactly what I'm kind of looking for. And that's kind of just a good example that we had today. Right now, again, still emming here, still weak. Fix is still over 20. It does look like we get some downside here. We have 15 minutes here until the market closes. They are trying to hold it, but I don't know. You would need to see it break over 133 and 165. Now let's go to this. Where are we? Qs is at 610 still. And look at that 610. We were just looking at this 5 minutes ago and I was at 340. Where are we? Let's go to 5 minutes ago. 340. Look at it now. Now it's at 411,000. So they are still stacking that side. And look at this. The 610s for the VEX were much lower than 2 million. Oh my God. This was this morning. 600,000, negative 200,000, positive a million, negative a million. So you could see we are really hammering that 610 level. And using that to our advantage. Oh no, I'm going to pull up the chat. Okay. Okay, we see that. Do you guys have any questions right now? I mean, again, I'm just doing a little test. We'll obviously be trading, Monday live. So this is more so just a little test so everyone could kind of see and to make sure that it works, that I could see everyone's chat. Again, I think it's just an easier way to do it than scrolling through here and just seeing everything. And obviously, again, it's just recorded. It just makes it so much easier. Hey, what's up, is there? Azuri. Again, that's 610, big level. Let's look at the Trinity here. Great addition by Glitch and the team. And you can see still some possible rejection here. We also have some SPY and SPX are a little tricky today. They've been a little off on each side. And Q has been a damning about this 610. So I'm going to throw a Q&A up there. Okay. Here we go. Again, 610, major selling. Don't know what the hell they have on that 610 level there, but they are murdering that thing. So did this just drop? This did just drop. testing out all these features to see how this works. Kirk just asked, let me pull that up. Do I look at the last 15 minutes on Friday for any indications for next week? Personally, no, not that crazy. I mean, I'll be honest, now that I have this tool, Lead Seeker, I do basically dive into things and see, okay, what is growing in, value? What kind of nodes are popping up across the board? But technically, no, I'm just waiting to see kind of what the market gives us and going from there. Okay, so I really like how this is all set up. Let's see. What else could we add to this stream? That I don't know. What could we add to the stream? Wondering if there's any tools we could add to it or something of that sort. I do like that I could pin your comments so everyone could see them and everyone could see what's on the board. That is good. We have 5 minutes here. Five minutes here until the close. Again, not doing any trading. It was just more so testing. So still kind of testing some things to make sure it runs all smoothly. Okay. Cool. Is the screen clear? So when I am on the chart, is it clear? Is there any issues on that? Again, just want to make it the cleanest, best experience possible. So yeah, just let me know if there's any issues with the screen being like fuzzy and stuff like that. I will try to fix that. But again, don't really see much. Markets are just chopping around here going into the end of the day. Also, be sure to like and subscribe on the, or at least subscribe on the channel, just in case for other videos. Do 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 do. We'll shut it down here at 4. Again, not trading, just testing the video out, making sure everything's running smoothly. That's all it is. All it is. If you guys have any questions, always ask. I'm always willing to answer questions at any time. Let me make sure. Is there anything on here? Recordings. Okay. Do. Oh, man. Tired. I'm going to shut it down here. I hope everyone has a great weekend. We will be live Monday, and we will get this shit going. Have a great weekend, everyone. Hope you guys made some money this week, and I will catch you later.